Uganda and Kenya and TZ are supposed to host the AFCON.
Yes, 2027.
2027. And chances are Uganda and Kenya are going to let down TZ. Being colonized longer. South Africans are very, like, those are very sad people. In Uganda, our leaders have messed us up. And that's from all angles, like, be them MPs, the ministers. Like, okay, at the moment it's useless to be a minister in Uganda. My issue with TZ, it felt like a country being constructed for someone else.
Hello everybody, welcome again to Pafandi Travels. Right now I am in Kampala City, Uganda. I'm with a friend of mine by the name Andrew Kagwa. Andrew Kagwa, what is like, you're a journalist by profession?
Yes.
Specific areas?
Arts and culture.
Arts and culture.
Yeah.
What does that entail?
You see, most of the times when people hear art and culture, they concentrate on the culture part, where they think it's about traditions. But arts and culture is, art is the way of life, and culture is also the way of life.
The way of life.
Yeah.
Okay.
So art and culture is just the way of life, but other people call it entertainment.
Okay. Now look at Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania. These are the first countries to form the East Africa. But right now we got several other countries on it. We got Rwanda, we got South Sudan. But now my question is, when you look at now from your perspective as a journalist and also a Ugandan, you see, like Rwanda, they say you go to Kigali, it's not a big city, but the progress in that town, or rather that city, is way above as you compare to, if you are to compare to Kenya, or rather Tanzania and Uganda. What do you think, or where do you think we are going wrong, or we missed the point? What could be the reason?
One, they will hit the part where you said that town, that city.
I need to edit.
Yeah, but yes, like I've been to Kigali very many times.
Yeah, it's called Kigali.
Yeah, Kigali.
Yep.
My very first time in Kigali was 2014. At that time, they were doing 20 years since the genocide, and then as I've been going back, I've been seeing things change. But one thing I still remember about 2014 was the fact that they had a very big Kenyan Ugandan influence. That's with the music. Like, it's like every bar you went to was playing either Ugandan artist or a Kenyan artist.
Kenyan artist, which is a good thing.
Which is a good thing. But when I went to Kigali about 2 weeks back, I noticed they moved on. They've moved on from us.
We are back. We've been left in the jungle.
Yeah, we've been left in the jungle. But yeah, what they've gotten right is, I think it's the mindset before anything.
The mindset before anything.
Before anything, it is the mindset. For example, like, you've been in Kampala and you know very well, it's very easy for you to find a road littered. Yeah. And everyone is passing by as if the road is not littered. I remember when I went for John Legend
concert. The
concert, February 21st. So 22nd, which was a Saturday, was the last Saturday of the month.
Yeah.
So in Kigali there is a thing they do, they call it Omuganda. Okay. Where they come together and clean a specific place.
Okay.
And that's the locals, not the city authority, not like, it's the locals.
It's like the locals themselves. They have to clear to ensure their cities is clean.
Yeah. And on that day, not a car, not a bike, not anything is on the road, at least until I think like midday. So from morning to midday, you have a clear road where there are no cars, there are no bikes, but people are cleaning.
Okay.
One, there is a thing about being part of something. Like when you become part of something, there is a certain respect you start giving it. Like I believe the ladies that wake up every day and sweep the roads in Kampala do not litter, because they know because the effort that goes into cleaning this road.
Yes.
If probably Kenya, that's Nairobi, and Kampala in Uganda had that program where the ordinary person also wakes up and feels what it is like to clean a road, maybe we would have the same mentality not to litter our roads. Because you see, it starts with the mentality and then everything follows.
True.
Like regardless of how many buildings you can put together, if people do not know how to take care of the little they have, trust me, the big ones will not work for them.
Yeah, just reminded me, there's a day I was traveling up country, that is back in Kenya, and I was in this how do I call it? It was a private car. But this guy was carrying at least 2 or 3 of us along the way. So there's a place you find guys roasting maize. So some of them bought the roasted maize, and after eating, they're like, they want to throw through the window. And I was like, hey, no, you don't do that. You can put them inside this. Removed a bag. You know, in Kenya, we do not use the nylon bags. So I removed that bag, and then I was like, okay, you put it inside here, and then the driver will know where to throw it, or we can throw it. So the guys were like, huh? Are you from Kenya? And I'm like, I'm Kenya. I've never, actually, I had only come to Uganda. But I'm like, I don't like that fact that, you know, you are chewing a ball gum, you're having something chewing, and then you just decide to
throw it.
To throw it away. You are eating some roasted maize, you just decide to throw that one out. I think the way you say the mentality is it,
Yeah, like the moment you learn how to take care of the small thing you have, it will become easier to take care of the bigger things. Because just think about it this way, like when Kigali built that arena, which I believe is a white elephant at the moment. White elephant because I do not think Kigali has the nightlife that Uganda or probably Kenya has. So I don't think the arena is being exploited as much as it would have been exploited if it was in Kenya or Uganda. But then if it was in Uganda or Kenya, what are the chances that things wouldn't have broken down?
That's another thing.
In a very short time.
Yeah.
Because of the way we handle even the small ones.
Even the small ones,
Yeah, so like you need to learn how to take care of that very little
you have.
Which I feel like in Uganda and Kenya we've not done. Like for Uganda, I can authoritatively say we've not done. Like in Uganda, everything breaks down to the last point and that's when someone comes up and they're like, we need to repair this, but by the time they're coming to repair it,
it's completely done.
It's completely done.
So it's like you're starting afresh.
Yeah, because that situation, you know, Uganda and Kenya and TZ are supposed to host the AFCON.
Yes, 2027.
And chances are Uganda and Kenya are going to let down TZ.
Why?
Because I feel like TZ is more organized and they can decide to actually build their stadiums and they can have them ready. But then
I think even the Benjamin Kappa should be ready. It should be ready.
But then you have Uganda. Like Uganda has always had a standard stadium, Nambole.
Yeah.
But then because at times you do not know how to take care of things, Nambole started rotting away before our eyes until it was too bad. And then CAF was like, that place is not safe to host football games.
Wow.
But this was a stadium that was opened.
It was a state of the art.
Yes, opened in 1998.
Wow, quite recent.
Yeah. And by 2020, it could not host any more games because it was that bad.
Wow. So does it mean those are some of the reasons that are making us lag behind? see where Rwanda is, see where South Africa is, see where Ethiopia is.
It's the mindset.
It's the mindset.
Because I can tell you something I experienced during John Legend's concert. And well, it was very humbling. Like, that concert started at, the performances started at 8:30.
Yeah.
And by 10:45, John Legend had left stage. So everything happened in a window of 8:30 to 10:45.
Wow.
11:30, they had swept the arena. They had cleaned, all the rubbish was out, and they were getting it ready for another event that was happening the next day. And then I started thinking, okay, in Kampala, most of the times when we have our shows at the Cricket Oval, they start cleaning the Cricket Oval on Tuesday when the show happened on Sunday.
Yeah. Why should that happen?
There is an entire Monday where the Cricket Oval has the rubbish people left in on Sunday, and everyone is looking at it, they're like, yeah, that was a big party. And then Monday goes, and then Tuesday people
goes,
start working. And you're thinking like, wow, those are technically 20-something hours later. These guys started cleaning, and before we left that venue,
it was clean.
It was clean. Like, that's mentality. That's
some people do say, I've heard some Kenyans say sometime, like, we wish we were colonized a bit longer. How true? Are you going to support such a statement? Because people are saying what is happening in South Africa. South Africa is just another country. It's not even part of Africa. It's in Africa, yes, but
like, it's two-way. Like, one, being colonized longer. South Africans are very, like, they might even hate this. Like, those are very sad people.
Whoa.
Like, South Africans are sad people, and they're usually very sad towards other Africans. So I cannot really wish to have been colonized longer. Like, there are issues that come with being colonized longer. Like, the colonial masters bring their people, and then before you know, they're turning your country into their country. So they're getting the good things, and you guys are like on the peripherals, like, you're just looking at the good things from a side. So I cannot wish, though that's a conversation that even comes up in Uganda.
Okay.
Like, you hear very many Ugandans say, wish we had been colonized longer.
A bit longer. Maybe we could be a bit wafer.
Yeah, we could have been a bit wafer, or we wish they can come back and colonize us. Because I had someone actually say that.
Whoa.
That they wish they could come back and colonize us. But you see, the difference between Uganda and Kenya is that Uganda was colonized as bonus.
As what?
As bonus.
As bonus.
Like no one wanted us, like, for real.
Whoa.
Yeah, no one wanted us, like, for real, because the very first people that came to Uganda were missionaries. The one for the Roman Catholic Church, and the one for the Anglicans. So when there was a religious war, that was packed off from kingdoms, because we have very strong kingdoms here. So when there was a religious war, when there were religious wars, the religious wars were coming from three angles: the Muslims, the Catholics, and the Anglicans. The Muslims had been here earlier than anyone else as traders.
Yeah.
The Catholics and the Anglicans came later. So when there was that religious war, the religious war happened after the Uganda Matters. Have you heard of the Uganda Matters?
I've heard about it.
Yes. So the king then banned some Christians, religious people, not even just Christians.
Religious people,
because even killed some Muslims. So after that, the king is exiled. When he's exiled, things become kind of hard, and so some people plot for him to come back, because the king they had installed, who I think was a Muslim, was very tough. So some people start plotting to bring back the king that was exiled back to Buganda. This is Buganda, the kingdom.
Yeah.
And when they bring him back, there was a war which was basically based on religion. Like Christians were fighting Muslims. So during the war, the Christians, courtesy of the Anglicans, call for help from the British, and they tell them, if we lose, the British will have lost.
Yeah.
So for British pride, they came, and that's how Uganda became a protectorate. If that religious war didn't happen, probably Uganda would have been one of those countries that never got colonized, because they did not really want it. It wasn't next to the sea. Like there was nothing.
It's like there was nothing.
Yeah, there was
to
nothing
fight for.
So they just took it because the Anglicans called them to come and help with this war. And of course, when they came in and helped with the war, they kind of started shaping the way the kingdom ran, and through that they started shaping how the Uganda ended up becoming. That's why if you ever read on any Buganda history, you will notice that all Buganda's kings have been Anglicans.
Oh yeah.
Like they've been Anglicans, and
all along.
And even the school that became King's College Budo, where they're training kings, is Anglican founded. In fact, most of the kings in different Ugandan kingdoms are Anglicans.
Oh, okay.
Even much of our leadership, that's
Anglican.
Is Anglican.
Ethiopia was never colonized. Why is that?
Oh, why they never?
They were never colonized.
Okay, I'm not so sure I remember that part of history, but I know they were never colonized. And then I also know that they eventually, it was Ethiopia and Liberia.
Yep.
For Liberia, I think they went back through, they started returning people to Liberia, people that they were returning slaves to Liberia.
Yeah.
And then it somehow ended up forming as a country.
Okay.
But of course, like when you look at African countries that are thriving, I think it's so hard to consider Liberia when you have an example of Ethiopia.
Of Ethiopia, okay.
Like, geez, that country.
It's way above.
Like, they have one of the most successful airlines in the world,
and that
not just in Africa, like in the world.
In the world, yeah. Ethiopian Airlines.
Yeah.
And that one reminds me, I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were like, okay, maybe should we blame the president rather than the leadership? And he was like, no, we cannot blame. Only the thing we need to have in Africa, it's about, let's say, the machinery to do things.
Wait, so your friend thinks we shouldn't blame, say,
the leadership.
Why? We should. Technically overseeing all that. Like we put him in those positions to oversee all that. We put them there to oversee, make better deals for us. Like, yes, we can make
and have
things
companies
happen.
around.
Yes, we can make things happen, but he creates the environment for us to make things happen. So we should be able to blame our leaders. Like, okay, would you say Kenya would be the same if Moi had not happened?
No.
Like, considering the fact that considering the fact that in Kenya, Moi's actions directly affected probably the economy.
It did affect the economy. Yeah, it did affect a lot.
We should be allowed to blame the leaders. Like in Uganda, our leaders have messed us up. And that's from all angles, like be them MPs, the ministers. Like, okay, at the moment it's useless to be a minister in Uganda because the guy at the top is everything.
Okay.
So you don't even know why you have the ministers. But we should be able to blame them. Like they are supposed, because it's like being in a car and it's in an accident and we can't blame the driver.
Definitely, because you can control that accident.
Yeah. So we should be able to blame our leaders.
Okay.
And even when you look at all countries that are thriving, they have intentional leaders. Like one of the things that sets them
development
apart,
conscious leaders.
Yes, development conscious.
Look at like what
leaders.
is happening in Tanzania right now. Something like the BRT. You've been to Tanzania of late.
Yeah.
Currently, Dar es Salaam, it's like a city under construction.
Yeah.
It looks like a construction site.
But my issue with TZ, I was in that country.
Let me know about it. Can I turn my camera?
So I was in that country, and one of my biggest issues was it felt like a country being constructed for someone else.
Whoa.
Yeah. You know how you feel like they're doing way too many things right to make a tourist feel comfortable.
Yes.
And of course I believe the tourists are very comfortable, because when you visit, say, like the airport in Arusha, chances are when you've arrived, there are more chances that you're less than 5 black people.
Oh, the rest are different nationalities.
No, different color.
Different color.
Yeah. Like from a tourism point of view, yeah, the tourists are coming in, but then at times it's useless to have all these things going on and the locals are not actually directly enjoying them.
Now I get you. Yeah, I get you.
Because if you have this airport you built and it's just foreigners that are
coming in.
and
I get you now. Now I get you.
Oh,
because it's supposed to be for the countrymen and women.
Yes.
To use the airport services.
Yes. So either you go, because they have still Arusha has quite some beautiful beaches, and at times you go there and trust me, the very first black person you see is a worker. Wow.
Many of them are whites.
Yeah.
Not even, I mean the environment around, they're just whites.
Yeah.
And that one tells you the blacks are not enjoying everything.
So like, then who are you building all these things for? Like, I know it's quite a crisis that Africa's gone into, because everyone is trying to attract people to their country. So they are doing many things that others can enjoy, but then they forget that
they need to do some things they need to do, or rather to make the country, people of that country, to enjoy the services.
Yes.
You're not making it to the other people.
You're not making the country for other people.
Okay.
Like, I kind of even felt that in Kigali for the John Legend concert, because still it was that thing where you would turn, see a Kenyan, turn, see another Kenyan, see a Ugandan, and then you're like, okay, so
where are the Rwandese?
Whoa. So
okay,
like I get that issue with TZ. I feel like they're doing a lot of developments, but then much of these developments
to attract outsiders
are they're attracting outsiders and not really benefiting the locals. Yeah.
All right, that has been a good one. Okay, that has been it for today. I think you've learned one or two from my best friend right here in Uganda. At least for now, you can say I have a best friend right here in Uganda, in Kampala.
Yes.
Okay, I know you've learned one or two things, and I just hope that Africa, we are going to move forward. And one thing I've gotten what you've said, like as leaders, they're supposed to, as they continue to, let me say, construct, or rather come up with these developments, the first people that are supposed to consider the beneficiaries
should be the people.
Be the people.
Yeah.
Don't construct an airport because you want visitors, other nationalities to come in. Make good airports because you want
your people to move.
Your people to move from Nairobi to Mombasa,
True.
to move from Entebbe to
Gulu.
Yeah, for your people. So the other people comes in like Okay, they're given the second priority. It's
Yeah.
like a second priority.
But you've built it for
Yeah,
your
for the people.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything you can tell my people? This is Pafandi Travels.
One, regardless of what you think your situation is, please do not forget to save some kamani. Okay, that's what we say in Uganda.
Kamani. That's
Yeah.
small money?
Small money.
Uh-huh.
Save some kamani and travel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's very important to travel.
Okay.
You open your mind when you travel.
Exactly.
You learn a lot when you travel.
Exactly.
And you meet people when you travel, which is one of the most important things.
Wow.
Meeting people.
That's a nice one. Thank you.